So in captivity, she could actually live into her 20s. But usually about 16 or 18 would be the normal sort of age. Right, I'm going to bring Todd round now so you can have a stroke with Todd. If you do stroke, she might peck, but the peck doesn't hurt, so don't worry. Just give her a little stroke. She's very soft and she's very friendly. If you've got any questions as I come around, please don't hesitate to ask. Hi, you alright? Yeah, good, thanks.
She's trying to peck everyone.
She's a bit of a madam, this one. She has good days and bad days. This one.
Oh, please don't bite me.
I was going to say, but us guys are a little bit outnumbered in here. I was going to say it is quite normal for a lady to be up and down quite a bit, but we're a little bit outnumbered, aren't we, guys?
Do you get a good photo?
No, I was recording it.
Where's Lucy?
But wait, you're going to be going on YouTube. Going on YouTube.
I bet you have another paracetamol. Can I ask them? Yeah, Lucy.
What?
What?
Who wants the paracetamol? Rachel, I've been recording this whole lesson. It's going on YouTube.
Are you still recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, she said you're going to overdose or something.
Becky, this.
What? Sorry.
Right, with tawny owls, this is probably going to be the most nocturnal owl you'll ever come across. Whatever you might have heard when you were back in primary school and all that sort of thing, that owls only come out during the night time, is a total myth, I'm afraid. Some owls are actually diurnal, but most owls are actually crepuscular, which means dawn and dusk. So very early hours in the morning and very early hours in the evening. Tawny owls will be up throughout the night. And these are the classic owls that go to roo as well. All other owls have all different noises. And she's probably one of the most vocal owls that I have in the garden at the moment, other than Zach, which you'll see a little bit later. Right, we're going to move on to the next owl, because we've got still quite a few owls for you to see. And Todd will fly back into her box. There you go. Right. Right, and tawny owls are probably doing much better than barn owl in the wild at the moment. They're probably one of our most common owls that we have. Barn owls, sadly, again, are actually declining again this year because of the amount of rain we've had. Barn owls do not fly very well in the rain. As you probably would have felt on a barn owl, they're very dry feathered, they're not very glossy. With Todd, on the other hand, it's a bit more glossier, so it's got a lot more oils on the feathers to keep them waterproof. And the rain sort of like runs off for a little bit. But with barn owls, they do not like flying in bad weather. So if they're not going out hunting, the babies aren't getting any food. And you may have seen on Spring Watch, if any of you watch Spring Watch. Some of you watch Spring Watch? Yeah? A few of you. Right, now you may have seen in one series there was about 4 or 5 barn owls, and it went down to about 3. And so to keep the species alive, the bigger ones will prey upon the little ones. And this is quite normal. It's to make sure that some will survive and be able to breed next year to have more young. It might sound cruel, but it is the way nature works. So we're going to move on to another owl. Now this one is not native to this country, it's more of a jungle owl, and it's quite different. This one's the youngest one I've got. This is one I bought, because I don't breed this species. They're actually quite hard to get going, and they only usually lay 1 or 2 eggs. So, and this one is very used to a very wet climate, because it comes from a rainforest in South America. Right, you're going to come out, okay? No, you're not going to come out? You're going to come out? Come on. thinks I'm mummy. I wish he thought I was daddy, but mummy always feeds him. So here we go. Oh, there we go. Christen the carpet as well. Right, okay, this is OJ. This is a spectacled owl. As you can see, he's still got a fluffy head. Now these ones take a very long time to actually mature. So they it probably won't be next year, it'll be the following year until it's mature enough to breed. Usually when they're about 3, sometimes, which is a more common age when they'll start breeding. So this one is very much more used to a wet climate. Actually, when you feel, this is one of the owls that you can actually hear its wings beating. Most owls you can't actually hear when they flap their wings, but if we flap this one's wings, you can hear it. Now, that's not going to matter too much in the jungle, because you've got lots of noises in the jungle anyway. So you're going to be muffled with the noise by like parrots and all other types of animals. I'm going to come around and make you stroke OJ. When you stroke his head, it's a bit like touching cotton wool, so it's very fluffy. So you can have a little stroke of OJ as well.
Hi. Oh my goodness. I got you.
He loves it under the beak. Sometimes loves it under the beak. But the side of the beak, if you do the side of the beak, he actually goes to sleep sometimes. There we go. He's going to close his eyes now. There we go. You can have a stroke. Now, considering being a medium-sized owl, this is actually, if you're going to fly an owl for the first time, this is actually the best size to go for because of the weight. Because of this one weighs about 2 pounds, you've got a little bit of room to play around with. Because if it's too light, you can bring the weight down too low and you can kill the bird like you can with a barn owl or even a tawny owl, and especially with the white face and the little 10 miles that I had out earlier. So, how fast? I wouldn't know with this one. I would say probably about 25, maybe 30. But, yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
But they'll be a lot faster than Barn owl. Barn owl is very slow. So, as I was saying, this one's the best one to start. Sorry? We had a question there. To start flying with. This sort of side. Also, the reason is because it's not too big. If you start off with a really big owl, they can get very heavy on the arm, and they can, during the breeding season, at a certain time, and like all animals, they have their mood swings and they have their off days and all that sort of thing. Now this sort of size is going to be quite easy to control. When you go larger than this, and even larger, they can be very difficult if you don't know what you're doing, and you can sustain some injuries from, which I have through the years, which is bound to happen. You're going to lose your concentration for 1 minute and all sorts of things. So you've got to be prepared for those sort of things to happen. But this size owl is the best size to start off with. You can also get an Indian eagle owl, which is probably just a little bit bigger, and they're probably one of the best, or the best, because again the weight. You can play around with the weight a bit. You've got a bit of room to make mistakes. You're not going to kill the birds so quickly. So this is the best size to start off with. But he's very, very friendly. I'm actually going to put you on spot now. You don't like to get scared of the big ones, don't you? Who would like to hold OJ? Anybody like to hold OJ? Okay, I'll give you a glove.
Let's go for Joseph at the back actually, because he's not that confident with animals, so it's nice to hear him.
Yeah, this is quite an easy one to start off with. What I'll do, I'll give you my glove. Got a bit more room if he does.